Sometimes I'm sitting here thinking about why I just spent an hour studying Japanese when it's my baby's one nap of the day and I could have relaxed or done anything that's not just continuing to stare at screens and overloading my brain after a full work day. I enjoy it, and so this video is going to be about why I study Japanese and what you can learn from me figuring out how to fit in time to learn an entire new language into my busy schedule. I have started and stopped studying Japanese a few different times. I studied it for a few months back when I was in high school, a little bit kind of recreationally in college, and then I never really picked it up again. I'm 5 years into my career, busier than I've ever been. I have a 9-month-old baby and a full-time job running. And for some reason, I decided now is the time to pick it back up. And I think it's just this desire to have like lifelong learning going on. That was something my parents really imparted into me, was learning not just for the sake of school or getting a grade, but learning to love learning. And I am at a point in my career where I have a lot of responsibilities. I'm reasonably high up, like I'm a manager. I have a few people that work under me. And most of what I read is either management books, self-improvement, like stoicism books. And it's just like realizing that what I'm consuming is also related to my career and improvement. And what if I just did something because I really enjoy it? And that's what studying Japanese is for me. I love seeing the progress like week after week of getting better at reading, learning more vocabulary, even though it is a strain on my brain. It's not traditional relaxation. It fills that void for me. I think my desire to pick up Japanese again was really motivated by just feeling like most of my time was going toward work or something for other people. Anyway, the idea I was trying to get at is that I spent a good amount of time always doing things for other people. So it was like in the morning, getting my wife out to work, spending time with baby, getting her breakfast, walking cloud, and then my work day, which is all about delivering success for the clients that we work with. And then after we get off work would be the house stuff. So cooking dinner and doing laundry and just all of these things that were not for me. And I almost felt guilty about like taking time to study Japanese when there was a pile of laundry that was not going to be folded. But I ultimately started to realize like it didn't matter if the laundry sat there for one extra day, if I was spending 30 minutes on myself. So I slowly learned to just prioritize what I needed to do, really to like work on myself. Today is Saturday. My wife is out at brunch with a friend and she took baby with her. So I have this weird like 1 to 2 hours of just being here by myself with Cloud. So pretty much taking all of that time to study Japanese. I did katakana practice. I just like to do writing practice almost every day. Make sure I know exactly how to write each character. I went through the rest of a textbook lesson and now I'm working through some video lessons on that textbook lesson, and I reviewed all of my Anki cards for today. So usually I only get to like 1 or 2 of those things in a given day, but we're really pushing hard today, learning a lot, which feels really great. It is definitely still kind of dealing with that feeling of like, oh, should I be doing something for the house or something that's more productive versus just taking the time to study? But again, I'm trying to get better at giving myself space to do the things that I care about and that I need to do without feeling guilty about it. My wife is flipping to night shift starting tonight, which when the routine has just like been this consistent for this long, it's always a challenge to flip back and forth. That combined with just all the new responsibilities I have at work and kind of everything that falls to me now means we're just gonna have to kind of take this week easier, give myself grace if I don't get certain things, but we'll try to figure out what makes most sense. It is Monday, wifey's second night shift of the week. Didn't get to any Japanese studying yesterday, but I do want to make sure I don't take 2 days off.
So I'm going to do about 20 minutes, just like one set of Anki flashcards. Do about 30 a day of the vocabulary, and then probably a little bit of the lessons I've been watching to learn Genki, just to make sure I'm making some progress. So we'll get into that for about 20 minutes and then go to bed.
And when I talk about all this stuff, like obviously my routine is pretty much set in stone and it's pretty consistent. But, then there are times like today where it's the last thing I'm doing at night and I'm tired, but I want to prioritize getting it in. Once you have a routine that's really solid, it makes it easier to break it because it's like, once things normalize, you'll snap right back to the routine. And so, you can still fit in all the things that you want to do, change up the routine, and then get right back to the routine once things even out.
"9:30 p.m. study session again when baby's sleeping." I guess that's just the vibe now while my wife is on nights this week. Just lock in for 30 minutes here and then go to bed with all that knowledge in my brain and hope it stays there while I'm sleeping. We are doing something a little bit differently today, studying Japanese on the lunch break. The end of the night has been working out fine, but I noticed last night my brain is just not the freshest at absorbing information at 9:30 p.m., 20 minutes before I go to bed. So I feel like I will be able to get just as much done in half the time if I use a time when my brain is more fresh. I usually like to take lunch and just kind of take a 30-minute break, maybe a little walk, but instead we're going to try studying Japanese right now and see how that goes. And that will do it for a full week studying Japanese, figuring out how to fit in with the big change in my schedule. Hopefully this was somewhat helpful and just showed how you really do have to just fit in whenever you can. In addition to like the 15, 20, 30 minutes of actual studying, I'll try to do at least like 30 Anki flashcards on my phone when I can. Progress is not linear. It's not always going to be perfect, especially when you're busy and this is like the fifth thing down on your priority list, but it still can happen every day in some shape or form, and done in any context is better than a perfect plan. And that's the way I try to live. That's why I just do this for as much as I can each day, knowing that it's never going to be perfect.